Yep, we're live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Hooray It's Thursday Live with Courtney. It's so good to see you all. I'm hoping that we get quite a few people on today. I've let the girls know that I'm here, and yeah. So we've had a very big first couple of days. The new mini went live on Tuesday, so 2 days in, and there's already some stuff that's on low inventory, so don't wait till the last minute. I'm sure that we've got things that are going to last for a while, but just wanted to touch base and make sure that you're aware of that. I'll just open the chat so I can see if anyone's talking to me at the same time. So what I'm going to do is I'll turn you over to my table, make sure that it's not too bright, which it is. All right. Might have to get my husband to pull the blind down a little bit. I just made him open everything up because I wanted it a bit brighter, but yeah, it's not really working for us. Yep, there's good. Okay, so this is our new mini. So the last, yeah, hello, Tony. The last few times we've been visiting together, I haven't been able to show you the inside, but I can now. And this is our celebration brochure. So a couple of little good things. I don't want to not waste time. I don't want to do too much diddling about with because I want to get into our creative part. With celebration, there is always a great joining special. The joining deal is always very good at the best of times. It's $269 is the stock standard in Australia, and you get $235 worth of product. Currently, it's got a value add to it. There's two different choices. We've got option one where you get 2 sets of markers of your choice, and the handmade design stamp set, which has been specifically made for it. It's a cling stamp, so it's red rubber. If you didn't catch last week's video, make sure you check back and go and have a look, because I showed you how to colour those red rubber stamp sets with your marker. Option two, you can get an extra $51 worth of goodies of your choice in your kit. Personally, I think option one is the best deal. I mean, that's about $162 worth of value rather than 51. So choice is yours, though. There is lots of free goodies in here. I may use one of them today, I'm not sure, but we're dealing with today, I pulled out, this is Mixed Media Florals. There is a little bit of Mixed Media Florals in the mini catalogue on page 17, and that is our offering from the Memories and More clip. So you'll see this album here. I've got one here so that I can show you. It doesn't have photos or anything like that in it, but this is the album. So I believe it's 8 by 8, and then it's got little pages that are 6 by, that's 3. I lost my mind. These little bits that hold here, they're 6 by 4. So it's 6 inches across, 8 inches down. Don't mind those. I was doing some tutorials way back when. Memories and More pages have a whole heap of different pages. I've actually gone along here and pulled out just the ones that hold 4 photos. The reason why I've done that is because I was doing these little checks, little setups so that you can actually talk about different types of stamping techniques. Marker to stamp was the one that I used last week with you. Partial stamping, so that's also a marker to stamp technique as well. And we've got a couple of things in there too. But these little guys here, and I haven't opened it, so I don't know what's in the pack yet, so we can go and have a sticky. These little guys here from the Memories and More range, there's how many in here? There's heaps. 54 sheets in total in here. Now that'll be the little ones as well as the big ones, and there's a sticker sheet in here. So we'll have a sticky in here, and we'll use, these are great for scrapbooking, memory keeping, that sort of stuff, teamed up with one of these albums and those sorts of things. But it's also great for card making. So I'll show you, we're going to make it, I'll make a card, at least one, if not 2 or 3. We'll see, because they're very fast. Right, so just put this out of the way because we don't need that. That was just to show you what they were. The reason why I've got this piece here is because there's also designer series paper. There's actually a suite in the online exclusives that comes with this that coordinates beautifully. So I pulled out one of the stamp sets, Mixed Labels. It's one of my favorites. Mixed Labels, a cling stamp. So it's another red rubber, and I haven't put it together, so I'm sorry you're going to have to watch me do that. But yeah, okay. It's quite a nice set, and it's got a set of dies to go with it. That's part of this suite. I don't have the full suite. I've just got a few little parts because I really love the paper. I really loved this Mixed Labels. I mean, for a great friend, your kindness made my day. It's got a nice little happy anniversary and a nice with sympathy. These are at the size that they are in the box. All right, so some of our stamps, they'll have a mark written on here to say if they're not at the same size. But look at that banner. Isn't it fabulous? So it's a nice, we're going to have play, okay? I haven't decided. This is the first time I've opened these. I've only seen them online. Okay, so we'll pull them out. And these are what we're going to get into. So you'll see that there's quite a few banners and little frames and stuff. Plus there's some little decorative pieces, which are always nice. So we've got leaves. Can't have enough leaves. And that's like I don't know, looks like a bit of grate, I guess you could call it. But it's a nice thing. And it makes really good masks. It also makes a really good background. Okay, so we'll have a play with those too as well. Oh, I've gone all fuzzy again. Here you go. There's my hand. So what I thought I'd do, you've got beautiful designer series paper. Hi, Lol. How are you going? The designer series paper is 12 by 12. And I thought, I wasn't sure what I was going to use. So there's black and white on some of them. And I know that some of you really love working with black and white because then you can colour it to your heart's content. Okay. All right. Some petal pink there, my favorite green, and look at that blue. And like, see how it's all nice and painted. But I do love this piece. So I'm not sure, I wasn't sure what I was going to play with. So that's why you're getting to see everything. Okay, but these little guys, I'll pull them out because you don't get to see, you get to see a few of them in the catalogue, but not a lot. All right. So I'll show you the sticker sheets. The sticker sheets actually have, there's 2 of each one. That has a, you're amazing. Just a note to let you know I'm thinking of you and celebrate. And then there's this sticker sheet as well. So you can put a date on it. So like I said, you can use them for scrapbookers as well. But you can just make a card straight up. If you don't like the sentiment, you can stick a new sentiment over the top. All right, double-sided. Looks like there is 2 of each one. Thank you. I was looking, look at that one. That's a great one for a scrapbook page, family time. You don't need to use it in the pockets. You can use it wherever you like. That's pretty. You can just add a sentiment. All right. Very nice looking card that would be. This one here, you could cut it up. This one here, you could layer it up. Choice is yours. All right. What else have we got in here? Pretty little bit area. You are loved. Yep. Now there's one I've been looking for. This is our story. I do like doing scrapbooking pages saying this is our story. And this one here, capturing memories one photo at a time. It's featured in the catalogue. It's really a classic saying for when it comes to scrapbooking pages. All right. So if you're not a scrapbooker, you can use the other side. And I often will only do one page that's a scrapbook saying the same thing. So I've got one for a card and one for a scrapbook page. And then you've got your little cards to go with it. So you can layer them up. You can cut them up. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And it looks like there's 2 here as well. Oh, it's ladybugs. So we've got quite a variety and it will suit everybody. So some of them will match. That one matches the designer series paper that we've got in the pack. Look, there's a hello there. Some of them have got sentiments on them. Today was great. Let's have a look. So one of the colours that goes with this suite is Calypso Coral. So I've pulled over the Calypso Coral cardstock and some basic white. And that is all I've pulled over with me. So I do have an envelope. Now, I was talking to a friend hi Amanda, on the way home, and I was talking about we were talking about wastage and how we don't like wastage. So with this piece in particular, and I will use this piece. Okay, so I'll put the rest away for now. I'll pull them out again if I need them, so I won't put them too far. With this piece in particular, there's a lot of different things you can do with it. You can basically cut it in half. And there's these really great templates online called One Sheet Wonders. So if you haven't heard of One Sheet Wonders before, you might like to go online and have a look and see what you can see when it comes to One Sheet Wonders. One Sheet Wonders are how many cards can I get out of this one sheet? What can I do with them? And what's the best way to use them? So with this piece of card, oh, it looks like I need a new blade, man. 12 by 12, I do card fronts that have, my card bases are 10.5, so I will do 12 by 12 is approximately 30 centimeters, so you will get 3 pieces out of here. And as you'll notice, I'm not really looking at what I'm doing, I'm just cutting it up. So it's 30 centimeters, 30.5 centimeters, so you are going to have a little bit of a feature piece if you would like to. Okay, so you will notice that these will all make very pretty cards. Okay, so one piece of paper, 12 cards, if that's what you choose to do. So I do have I've got a pile of goodies here. So I've got a good pile. Now, the other thing that is featured in another colour, we've got boho blue, we've got daffodil delight. So one of the colours in the new ribbons, so I just had to hold my tongue in the right spot and whatnot. One of the colours in the new ribbons is beautiful daffodil delight. And it's a nice fine ribbon. It's really little. It's, let me see, what does it say? It looks like it's about 1/4 of an inch, but 3.2 millimeters. It's 1/8 of an inch. So it's really fine. It's soft. It's easy to do a bow. It's pretty. But you'll notice when I do this, because I'll have to trim a bit off the bottom or the top. That one's pretty. That one's the same. That one, I can work with that too. All right. So there's lots of different things, and then we've got one going in the other direction. So there's lots of things, different things that you can do with this. Okay. So let's play with this one here. Okay. First up, cab off the rank. I will make it fit my piece of cardstock. So I've got an A4 piece of cardstock that's just cut in half, which means it's 14.8 and a bit. So that I will bring my main piece for the front down to 14.3, giving me 14.3 by 10 centimeters. And again, I've got a little blue piece here. Now I've got this nice piece that I can then do other stuff with. And sometimes it's nice to not have it all the same. So what I might do is down here, let's do it as a bit down the bottom. I'm just going to go 3 centimeters up. Oh, and I'm going to lose my flowers. Let's go 2 centimeters up. And then I'll take another, I'll do another 2 centimeters. And yeah, I'm going to lose my flowers, but I'm going to turn that piece over just because I can. All right. Yes, it's not Calypso coral, but it's still going to look good. You watch. Okay. So I could do that with numerous things. So this piece is going to land up the top up here. This piece is going to land down the bottom. And I've got this little piece here. Now I can butt it straight up against the other pieces if I would like to. It means then I don't, why? Hello, Donna. Let's see what interesting things Donna's going to type on here today. After last time. So when I've just cut that piece out If you want it to be a little bit smaller so that that piece from the back will come forward, you can cut a little piece off here, but it does make a nice feature. Now you can add an extra piece of your designer series paper and build it up, but you don't need to. You can just chop it up. You can cut this up in all different ways if you want to, just for something different. This one sheet can be cut. I'm going to look. Do you know what I'll do? That's one piece, and that's one piece. So we're going to turn it into half a piece. But this one sheet can make lots of different cards, and there's lots of different ways that you can do it. Notice this piece here is upside down. That plays with my head in a way that I don't like. So I'll show you how I fix that as well. So, but this one here can be very simple, very pretty. Let me see, where's my little blurby bits? We've got a very nice basic white. And all right, let me see here. Need to put some stamps together. Sorry about that. Okay. If you're new to watching me, sometimes this is how I put my stamps together. Just a note to let you know you're on my mind. Your Pretty Wonderful is really big. We don't want that. Let's have For a Great Friend. Okay. So I'm just going to pull a little corner here, whip that bit off there, put it on my block, whip those two bits off there, and that by rights is this one here. Yep. Peel that off there, toss it over there. You know how it is. I do have a garbage bin on my table, but you know, and hold your tongue right and plonk it on. Get one go, okay? I do have a piece of scrap plastic on the table, so I will put my corner on it. This is just a little piece of one of those cello bags, and I'm just going to put that on the end here, just so that it gives me something to grab onto to pull it off. Okay. All right, For a Great Friend. That can go on there. Okay, so we're doing, this one's a super speedy card, minimal stamping, but you'll notice in here is the same flowers. Okay. Hi, Michelle, how you going? Donna's going to try and be good. All right, so let's get these little flowers because, oh, did I bring my memento over? I didn't, you know. Drats. What have I got? Oh, I've still only got my pens on the table. Let's put this flower one here together. Oop, that just popped right off. Uh-oh. If you accidentally press them down, you take your pick tool as your friend, or your pair of snips. Just hold that down while I take those off. And I'll have that stamp sitting here in front of me, because those little flowers are the ones that I'm going to use to decorate my inside of my card. So that's pretty handy that we've got those. And I'll show you a trick with them. Okay. All right. Where's the husband? He could come and help you. Yep. Okay. So I'll just put that back to the side. Tony, can you come here, please? This is rather handy. We'll get him to get some memento. Okay. So I'm just showing everybody what I want to do here, but I need some memento, which is over there somewhere. It's a black and white ink pad. Okay. So we need to stick this one down. Okay. So this one's going to go down flat. Okay. He's going to make a racket while he does it.
You're pretty quiet. I'll help you.
Yes, you are helping. You're being very good, darling. Okay. One memento. Look, magic. Okay. This one here is the bottom. Oh, hello, puppy. Okay. And we'll just stick that one on there. Okay. Now, the reason why I've stuck these two pieces down first is because it doesn't matter if this piece overlaps one. It doesn't matter if it overlaps them, but I haven't really squished it that much because I want to make sure that it's in the right spot. Okay, so I've just given them a bit of Tony, she needs help. No, he can hear. He's here. See? So that one's just sitting there at the moment. Okay. Now you'll notice that there's a little bit of like a lip there. Because I cut it this way with my trimmer, I'm a bit heavy-handed with pressing it, but I just need to flatten out that lip because you can see it and it's not a good look. Some people wouldn't notice it, but I'm just going to glue that piece in there. And it's just one way of not needing an extra piece of designer series paper to go on top. Okay. So that piece can glow in there. Okay. And we're going to do a little bit of a clustery thing here happening. So with my memento, I'm just going to pop on here for a great friend. Hopefully it stamps relatively straight. Well, I did that really dodgy, didn't I? Okay, I do have a stamp cleaner here this week. So I'll just give it a clean. I've got a bit of I rocked it. So can you see how when I rocked it, I ended up with a bit around the edge? We don't want that. It's not a good look. But there's always more paper. So let's get some more. Let's see if I can do it better going this way. Still as crooked as a dog's hind leg. Okay, so this one doesn't stamp straight. Okay, let's. She's a bit. Oh, and the F didn't work. Okay, so this is not the way it's supposed to happen. Okay, I'll try again. And down, press in the middle. Yay, we got it to work. It's good that there's always another bit of paper, isn't it? Okay, so I am going to cut that off there and I am going to flag it. I could probably make it a little bit thinner, but I don't need to at this stage. Okay, so just flag it with your snips. You can use a die, you can use a punch. There's a couple of punches that will not do a nice flag, but it's up to you. Okay. The dies for a great friend would fit very nicely on here. Okay. So depending on what you wanted to do, depends on how if you wanted to use a die or if you were just starting out and you didn't have any, you can cut a little pretty piece. Now, one of the other good things about having dies is that you can also cut. Let's cut this piece. You can also cut out of. Actually, you know what? Let's not do dies. If we were a brand new stamp and we wanted to make some pretty cards pretty quick, let's not use dies. Are pretty though, and I do think when we've got such a great joining deal on, getting a cut and emboss machine is a very good idea. But anyway, so you can cut other pieces of paper. You can then bring in, if you wanted to, these pieces here, you'll notice are actually bigger. If you're using them for cards, they're third time lucky, fourth, fifth, sixth. If you're using them for cards, on our standard size cards in Australia, these don't fit. All right, they're too big. So there is room to trim them down, and then you can use other bits of those as a bit of a feature. So if there's something that you like and you want to trim one down, you can. So if you wanted to put a little bit of a feature on it, you could. Let me see, which one do I want? Do I want a bit of black and white? Let's pull out the piece of the paper. Where did I stick here? Because let's have another colour. We've got the blues. If we want to pull in another colour, there's heaps of other colours. You'll notice that the backs are the black and whites, but there is some plains in here. So we do have a plain green. I don't think it's going to work. I don't think that'll work either. But we could probably get away with a little piece of this. Oh. Some petal pink. Okay, when I'm cutting a directional print, I like to make it so that if I was doing a card front, the directional print's going to come down this way, down my card. So I will cut, I'm just going to cut this piece as a 6 by 12 initially, and then I'm going to cut it down this way. Because I've cut that main piece as 10 centimeters, I'm going to add a little bit of a bit more. Now I've got this little piece here. You do end up with a little strippy piece at the end. You can, nobody said you have to make it the same size. So I've just cut this little strip here that I'm going to add to here. Okay, so at the moment it's huge. We'll just trim it down a bit. We'll go with, let's say, my card front's 10 centimeters long, so let's go with 8.5, which puts me so that I don't have a white end. All right, so that I can stick this along here and I don't have a white end. And then this piece here can go over the top of it a little bit. Okay. What that will also do is give me something to attach my ribbon to. Now, it could also go down here, and that could go down there as well. It just depends on what you want to do. Because this is nice and quick and easy, we are going to get some glue onto it and get it down so that we can do another one. Okay, there's my Take Your Pick tool hiding. I've got my little toolbox beside me, but I took one of the Take Your Pick tools out with me the other night because I've got two. This one's permanently got the brush on it, and I just find that works well for me. Now I'm going to put some ribbon. No, I know what I'm going to do with the ribbon. I'm going to put this on just with some glue, so it's going to go on flat, and I am going to put it over that lip just a little bit because I don't want to hide too much of that flower because that flower is quite pretty. This is going to go on with some dimensionals under it. I do have minis here on the table. It would be better with some larger ones, but I've got them over on the other table because I was doing something else the other day. Okay, the minis and the big ones are the same price. You get more of the minis because it's just a different cutout pattern. All right, so just be aware of that. And you do, when it comes down to it, you use the same number like of space. Oops. Okay, I'll just take that off there. Oh, I wanted to put my ribbon on first. Now, to put some ribbon on here, I'm going to hide it underneath my sentiment a little bit. Don't mind this. This is tear and tape, and somewhere there's the end here. Oh, the clouds have come over. I don't know if you can hear the cicadas here. They are so loud. I'm just going to put a bit of tear tape there. Gosh, I hope. Yep. And pull off the top of that. Saving that bit for later. And with my ribbon, I don't take it off the spool. I put it onto my cards before I take it off the spool because then I don't end up wasting as much, I find. Okay. And then I'll cut it just so that way, because otherwise I was finding that I was cutting too much and then I wasn't really I was wasting quite a bit of it. And the whole idea of today is to use stuff so that we don't waste it. Okay. Very pretty. Now, there's heaps and heaps of different new blings, and I brought over to the table with me. Where are you hiding? Some pretty bling. Here it is. Look at this. How cool are those? These are the two-tone sparkle gems, and when I figure out how to get in them, we'll put some of these on here. Just because it's bling's pretty, and it's nice to have a little bit of bling. We do have these that come in 2 different sizes. I don't have my other end for my take a pick tool with me on this side of the table, so I'll use the little spatula. They've got like a little, they're rough, a bit like the Drucy gems that we had, but they've got a pink and a blue sort of colouring to them. So they bring it, so which means they sort of catch the colour from elsewhere. So, which is good. Oh, doesn't want to play nice. Need the putty because the putty just sticks on and grabs it. Oh, it's stuck to my table. Gotcha. Okay, we'll put one here. And let's use a big one. Come on, up your thumb. Doesn't want to play. The putty is way better, let me tell you. They're nice and sticky. Okay. One card needs an inside, but for the inside, so your brand new stamper, you bought a packet of paper, you bought a sweet. Got to get a memento, add that to your cart. Get your 2 packets of markers. And where's that envelope gone? Here it is. An envelope that I prepared earlier. I like to make my envelopes at the same time, and the reason being is otherwise I forget. Is anyone else the same? Pop a little bit of a look-see on there. Now, while that memento's drying, which is already dry, so if it comes down to the crunch, I'm just going to wipe off my glass mat. The glass mat has a tendency to share the ink around, so I don't want that on the back of my envelope. Now, the colours in here are written on the back of the card. They're written on the back of your paper, so you get like a blurb here on the back. We've got petal pink poppy. We don't want poppy parade. We've got petal pink. I've used calypso coral, so we can do that. But the yellow on here is the daffodil delight. The yellow on the ribbon is the daffodil delight. So when I come to my markers and I hit up my my Brights collection, I think the Brights collection is one of my favourites. Okay, so you get all of these. There's 10 of them in there. What you can do is you'll see how it's messy. It's not like neat. So nobody says that you have to be neat. So we just want to put a bit of a daub on here. So don't be neat because we want to match that paper. You can cut up a bit of the paper and put it on there as well, but you just want to give it a bit of a zhooshing up. All right. If you wanted to add a bit of green, you could do that. What have I got on there? And then we're just going to pop those on the inside. So that would then give us 1 card. But we've cut out enough for 6 card fronts on here. And they're all going to be different. Now, you can put, if you wanted to, you could put a blue piece underneath. But I'm just going to give you that little space there. The other good thing that you can do here, because this is such, I didn't realize it was such a small piece. I don't know where I've grabbed it from, but that's okay. It obviously had a mat with whatever pile I grabbed it out of. You can also stamp directly onto here. Okay, so that is 1 card. Now let's look at this piece here. All right, that's quite plain, but we can make those flowers another feature. Right. And we can use the bone folder that's sitting here right in front of me. This piece hasn't been cut down, remember? Okay, so what we can do with this one is we can cut it down a little bit differently, and we can do, it's again making it a one sheet wonder, a part of the one sheet wonder family. So we're just going to use, I know we added a little bit more for that piece before, but that's okay. Trimmer. So we need to make it fit onto that piece there. Okay, so we're going to 14.3, and I'll cut the white bit off because I want to feature the flowers. But one of the other things I can do, and I often like to do, is other way. So if I come up here and I cut that at 4, right, I've got these two pieces that I can then turn over one, which is what I'm going to do. And I've got a pretty piece and that piece there. Now, a couple of things that you can do here. You can use punch, you can use one of the dies, and you can stamp your sentiment. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to add our ribbon where our join is. Okay. Again, you can add extra bits, you can take away. If you want to add an extra color, you can add an extra bit of a layer. We've got a variety of options. Now, where did I put? The other thing that you can even do on here is you could actually also, we're doing speedy cards, Court. You could also emboss it. Okay, so if you got your embossing machine out, you can emboss it. Now, I've just looked beside me. I've got the embossing machine, but I don't have any of the plates. So we're not going to be doing any embossing today. Okay. If you wanted to, you can raise this piece. You can add a piece. You can, lots of different things you can do to it. So, but for ease of today and what we're up to, one of the other things that you can do, no, we're not. Stop, Courtney. Stop. Easy cards, basic cards. Let's glue this down. We're going to try and make as many cards as we can out of one piece of paper. Now, butt that up against it. You want to make sure that you're holding your tongue right, but you want to make sure that you don't have too big a space over here. So your spaces on either edge are the same. Now, with that, the other thing that you can do is you can add an extra piece to the top. You can add, what's a better sentiment? If we use one of the bigger sentiments, let's use one of the bigger sentiments. All right, what have we got in here? You're pretty wonderful. I'm so glad we're friends. Your kindness makes my day. I might do You're Pretty Wonderful. What do you reckon? Who could I send that to? Get Tony to help again. No, Tony doesn't need to help. He's all right. He's watching telly. I don't need his help. He would if I did. If I asked him, he would. I really like the dies though. I'll have to do some stuff with the dies, just so that I can play with them. You're Pretty Wonderful. I'm going to pop it. I'm actually going to cut this one out because it come off. Just because I can. Now, the other thing I'm going to do with it, last week I showed you how we went marker to, daffodils the light won't work. We went marker to direct to rubber. So this is Mossy Meadow. No, it's not. It's Garden Green. Where's my Mossy Meadow? It's on the other table. That's okay. Let's see. We need Calypso Coral. That looks like, yeah, Poppy Parade. Actually, could I get Poppy Parade could work. And I don't know that I want Boho Blue, but I think that No, blueberry bushel definitely will not work. There's a misty moonlight I had the other week. How come I have 2 blueberry bushels? That's my Regals. That's my new core. What happens? Oh, there's Misty Moonlight's on the table. Oh, and there's Calypso Coral. It's on the table too. Sweet. Found the ones I wanted. So we go marker to stamp using the lighter color first. And in this case, I'm going to use my Calypso Coral first, the brush end. Okay. So I'm actually going to do the You're Pretty in Calypso Coral. And this will give me 2 different color inks on the one stamp, making me look pretty flash. Okay. All right. Because everyone goes, how did you do that? Some secrets are best kept, others are best shared, and this is one that I think is best shared. So red rubber works beautifully for this, and you can, if you can convince your photopolymer to do it, it works better on your photopolymer if you've put some Versamark on it first. Just saying. Okay, so with this little piece here, I'm just going to huff on my thing, on my stamp set. So you'll see it gets like a bit of a fog happening when you huff on it. That tells you that you're wetting it again. And the air's quite moist today because it's actually been raining here. And it doesn't matter if this one's not straight, because I am going to snip it out. But like, see what I mean? You get 2 different colors. How cool is that? All right. So much to Amanda's horror, because she'll be watching, we're going to fussy cut. But first up, I'm going to just trim it a bit closer, because I can. All right. And what I do when I'm fussy cutting is I'll come around, I'll move my paper. There is not a die to cut this sentiment out unless you actually want to put it on a, I would say it's like a rectangle. It's not, but it's a decorative rectangle. There's no die that actually cuts this sentiment out straight up like this. But that's all right, because I'm getting pretty good at this. And anyone with practice, you will too. This is a good way, if you're a really crooked stamper on a regular basis, this is a good way that nobody can tell. All right? Okay, so there's my sentiment. You're pretty wonderful. What I need to do is work out how I would like to put my ribbon. Now, there's a couple of good ways that you can put your ribbon on here. I'm actually going to go up and down with it. It's just another layer. You can put these 2 pieces onto something so that you can wrap it around if you want. You can make it the way that I'm going to do it now. So that piece is glued down. This piece is not. All right. If we put this piece around here, and we're going to tie it on we're going to stick it on with our tear tape. Okay. So I've just got a couple of little pieces of tear tape. I'm just going to put this piece of ribbon around here on the back there, and then again on the front. Trim that down. What that does is gives me something that I can secure a bow to. Okay? So that way my bow can wiggle anywhere along that line as I see fit. All right? So we'll just go put a bit of glue on here. Now, depending on what mood I'm in, because it is very much dependent on the mood I'm in, whether I take that tear tape off and get it to help me, or whether I just slap it on like this. The choice is yours. It doesn't matter. It's not going to change anything. It doesn't change the height of piece of paper, the ribbon's already doing that. So we just want to make sure that that piece there is nice and flat. And what you can do is you can stick a block on it while you do something else. Okay, so that'll just give you that opportunity for that to really push down. Okay, if you use your tear tape, it can actually do some of that work for you as well. All right. If I've only got one more piece of my Calypso coral, so I didn't bring it with me, but I do have a piece of Mossy Meadow. So one of the other things that we can do here is we can add a little bit of a feature piece. Now, if I just cut this to, let's say, 1.5 centimeters by, oh gosh, it's very fluffy. New blade needed. Now, if you have that problem at home where you need a new blade, I keep in my toolbox numerous different nail files. So you can just get your fluffies off with a nail file. Okay. All right. And that needs to be at 14.3. Oh, it's not long enough, but that's okay. Because that piece there can then sit either over here for just something different, or it can actually sit next to it here. Now you'll notice it's a bit short. So what are we going to do there? Let me show you. All right, so that's all flat now. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to tie a bow on it, because they're not, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do with that piece. This piece here, you can do a variety of things. You can emboss it, you can stamp on it, which is what we're going to do. Oops, I put that in the wrong way. Put my ribbon on that side of the table, because I want, this is the side that I like to have as my short side when I'm tying a bow. And as you saw, it's still attached to my reel. And I just want a little bit of a bow. So I'm just going to tie a teeny tiny bow here. Oh, I got fat fingers. Doesn't want to play. A teeny tiny bow here. And then I can trim that. Now, the beauty of doing it that way is if I wanted to, I can push that all the way to the other side, or I can leave it right there. Okay. This piece here, just because we can, I'm thinking needs to be stamped. What do you reckon? Now, I don't have any, the only big ink pad I have over here is my Memento. So nobody said you can't run. Actually, let's do it in, what's another color in one of my markers here? Let's do it in, what are you? You look like Old Olive. We'll do it in Old Olive, and let's see if it shows up on Old Olive on here. This is Mossy Meadow, so it may not show up, but you can just go along and color that and stamp. Yep, it's going to come up. And it's just going to be random. I love how it's got some little dots on the either side of it as well. But you'll notice too that I'm getting it all over the glass mat. So I'll have to make sure that I clean it off before I put my envelope or my card back on there. Okay. Even though it's not the same color, so it's not tone on tone, my Old Olive is doing the trick for me. Okay, and it just provides it with a little bit of texture. Okay, and you'll also notice I've cut my chamois in half, and I do that with all of them, because then if I've got something that's really dirty, I can have a really dirty piece and a not so dirty piece. Now it's not fitting, so what we're going to do is I'm going to work out that I want to put my sentiment just about here. Okay, although it would work up the top as well, but I'm sort of clustering everything down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go snip there. All right. And nobody's going to see underneath here, are they? Nobody needs to know. What is that? What do they do with that thing? Nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to know. Is it like, you know, all those things that you see on Instagram and all that sort of stuff? Nobody's going to know. And they're not. So we're going to make it work. Just stick you underneath that ribbon there and butt it up against that bottom piece. And then I've got a little gappy bit there. And nobody's going to know because I'm going to put my sentiments straight over the top of that. And it's going to go on with some dimensionals. Now, if you've got your cut and emboss machine around, you can, which have developed legs again. Man, everything's developing legs. Here they are. If you've got your cut and emboss machine ready, sitting beside you, all good and proper, then what you can do is you can add another layer if you want. Tease it up a bit more. But if we're just starting out, we just want to have some nice simple cards, minimal wastage with our cardstock and our pretty papers, and a whole bunch of cards. So, all right, and you are just going to sit quite nicely there. And again, we'll have some bling because we need bling, because bling is always good. I don't know about you guys, but I don't use as many of the big ones. Might put that up there and have another little one. I use more of the little ones than I do the big ones. I want to put it there, or do I? Oh boy, difficult question. Difficult. There. You don't only have to put 3, you can put 5 if you want. And we'll pull out and we're going to do the same thing on the inside, but you'll notice that there's blue flowers on this one. So we'll do blue flowers this time. Just give that a bit of a wipe. Another envelope. Did that one say? For a great friend. You're pretty wonderful. I'm going to put that on the inside just because I can. And I know the person I'm sending it to is not going to be watching. But I miss her dreadfully because I don't see her enough. Okay. Again, make sure we don't go over that bit there because that will come onto our envelope. All right. Oh, I forgot to put the "You're a great friend" in here. Now, there's a lot of you that know and watch me all the time. Hi, Suzanne. How you going? I regularly don't put my sentiments in the middle. I'll often put them down here. Now that was stamping. All right, so I need to push my friend up a little bit just to make it straight. There you go. So what I did here, I just checked the way my stamp was stamping because I remembered that it's not straight. It doesn't match. So when you stamp it on your grid, you can see the way it stamps. So I knew that I needed to kick the word friend up a little bit. All right, so you can use your grid paper or your grid on here. There's a bit from last week to your advantage. Now, because like I just said then, this one here has mainly got our blue on, which is a Misty Moonlight or a boho blue on our flowers. So I do have boho blue here because no, that's Azure Afternoon. Where's my subtles? Here we go. Or are you balmy? You're balmy. I don't want balmy. I want boho. So we'll use Misty Moonlight. That's okay. Misty Moonlight might be a bit dark. What do you reckon? Let's see. Test a bit. Or it's too dark. Balmy's looking pretty good then. Do you know what? It's on the inside. It'll work, won't it? So I can just put a little bit of over our flowers there and do the same on our envelope. So it sort of matches. And look, because there's some green there, I'm going to just pull in this little bit of old olive and just do a bit of old olive on it, just so that we've added an extra color, because 3 colors looks so much better, doesn't it? How cool does that look? And look, it's as messy as they come, but it looks really good. And I've just done it because that's what the paper does. So we'll just stick this one in here, and you'll see this one's the better size. Okay. That's the other thing you will have noticed. I don't put the lid back on my glue when I'm crafting. If I'm making a few things, the glue lid stays off, the glue lays down on the table, and all is good. Just be careful it doesn't go everywhere. And that is card number 2. Okay, so that's 2 pieces out of our piece. And now we've got this beauty. So this piece here to me doesn't look right. It's upside down. Okay, so I've got to work out how I want to do this. It's plain blue on the back, and yeah, it's sort of not gonna, I don't know. So what we can do is we can actually just turn the whole piece over. Okay, this is where we can have a bit more of poetic license. I actually have a piece of, I thought I had a piece of Misty Moonlight on the table. Look, I do. So I've got a piece of Misty Moonlight on here. That would actually work very, very nicely. Okay. Nobody said you had to use the pretty side the most. All right. So let's pull in this piece of Misty Moonlight. Find my bone folder. Let's fold you in half, bucko. And let's see what we can come up with for this card. All right. So we are going to need to trim it down. Okay. And because I might want to use it, I'm going to trim it down 14.3 with this very patterned end as my, yeah, cut it in half, rotate the flowers around the top. I know I could do that. I could also cut it. All right, this Donna's good. Yep. Okay. The other thing we can do, this piece here is 10 centimeters. Okay, so let's make it 5. This piece here is now 2 lots of 5 by 14 and whatever it is, 14.3. Let's cut about, ooh, let's go with 9, I reckon. 9 centimeters. And we'll do this. So we've got 1 piece of cardstock. And then what we can do is we've got 4 different pieces. And we can pretend it's a jigsaw puzzle. That one's a really nice piece. So we'll put the blue on that side. Then we can have, we've got these, they're both the same size. So we can actually turn this piece here over and make it so it's going up that way. So then we've got that. The other thing we could do is we could have just cut it in half and had bits going whichever way. So depending on which piece you like the best depends on which piece that you use. So that's got a lot of that flower, that blue flower on it. So that actually looks quite good there as well. So picking and choosing, you can do whatever you want with it. All right. Nothing's stopping us from going the other way around either. Okay. It's just going to be a matter of doing what you think is going to work best for the way that you want to design it. the other thing you can do is, nobody said it actually has to match. You can chop bits off it. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to have them all butt up against each other, but it just looks like I've just slapped it on. So I am going to end up with a little bit of waste by what I'm about to do. I'm going to put, I was thinking about cutting some pieces off, but if I just move them a little bit more, I can actually have an even finer than my normal edge, but it can also have, it's like a frame. Okay, so let's glue that one down. So I'm going to glue this piece down here, because this one here, these two pattern pieces are going to be my main focal piece. And I'm going to give it a really, really fine edge around that top bit there. All right, I'll glue this one down. Look, that one was boring on the other side once we cut it all up, wasn't it? Only had two little bits on it, and very, very fine edge there. Now, that's the other thing that you can do. Nobody said that you actually, oh, can I do it? No one said that, like, that piece could be plain blue up there. Like, you can actually move them all around as well. So there's lots of different ways that you can put it together. Oh, here comes the rain again. Okay. This one here is good. But I will do, I've just noticed that that's got that lip on it. So I'll just flatten that out. And I deliberately made sure I really like the blue flowers on there. I think that they're pretty. And they'll make it look good when I do the inside. And bring you down a bit. Over a bit. Now, if you cut dodgy, all right, you can hide things, a multitude of sins with a lot of different things. Okay. So just be aware, it doesn't matter as long as everything sort of looks good in the end, and nobody can see what's hiding underneath. The main edges that you've got to get right, how did that end up happening, are these ones on the outside. Okay, so the reason why I said that, I like the window with 4 panels. So do I. See how it's dodgy in the middle? It's just about like how my quilt making went. I've still got I've got a numerous couple of circular punches here. So depending on which sentiments will fit into which hole punch, because I don't have all of the embossing stuff, I can use a punch. So let's just play with this one. I'll have a piece of that basic white that I had before. And if you wanted to just continue with your squares, you could, because there's nothing stopping you grabbing another square. Actually, let's do that. We're going to continue with the theme. We've got squares and rectangles. So let's make another square. Can you hear that? Here comes the rain. Let's go a 4 centimeter square. Well, we might end up doing a rectangle actually. A 4 by 6 rectangle. Okay, it doesn't look like much at the moment, but it can sit there, and look, I've hidden my multitude of sins. Okay, so because I want to put ribbon on it, and I want to put the same yellow ribbon on it, so I want to make sure that I could use it. Now, where is this fabulous stamp set? Hiding under here. We've got other bigger sentiments. Some of them are for the front and some of them are not. So let's see, where is the, I can't read the rubber when it's up that way. I need this piece here. So just a note to let you know you're on my mind. That would actually work quite nicely, and it's a very nice sentiment, but it's very straight. So you'd want to make sure it's going to sit on there very straight. Your kindness made my day. Thank you. Well, look, guess what? It's just a note to let you know you're on my mind. Okay, so let's go with this one. And you don't have to watch me put this one together, because you can also just do that. All right. But what I want to do is I want to make sure how straight it is in comparison to It's pretty good. So it runs along that line of the bottom quite nicely, because I can see here, this line here and that line there are fairly even on it. Okay, so let's see if it stamps the way I want it to. Okay, let's not set myself up to fail here. I'm just going to stamp it in Memento, and I'm going to stamp it at the top, because I'm actually going to put a ribbon and a bow around the bottom of it. Grit your teeth, smile sweetly, pop it down and hope for the best. Oh, look at that. Winning. Just a note to let you know you're on. Oh, while we've got the ink out, let's do our inside and our envelope. And again, I'm just going to do them the same as I did the last ones. Pop some flowers. And I like it's got little dots, so you can put little dots just everywhere. All right, envelope, just pop that to the side. Make sure my envelope's up the right direction. Don't know what these flowers are. Does anyone know? Whatever they are, they're pretty. And clean that off, just because we can. All right, so we're just letting this person know that they're on my mind. And I'm going to put some ribbon around the bottom. Again, with the tear it tape. Oh, sorry guys, I've gone over the hour. I try to keep it under an hour just to make it so that it's for your viewing pleasure, not your viewing marathon. Okay. I like to do it this way rather than tie the, there's a couple of different ways you can do this, and I like to do it this way just because I have more control over my bow. The other good way to tie a bow is around a block. God, that's as crooked as a dog's hind leg. Seems to be the going trend. You are on my mind. Now you could actually do that. One of those dies is going to look really pretty around this. Yes, they could be dogwood flowers. Yes, they could. So if you're not a bow person, you can just tie a knot. But I'm a bow person, so you're getting a bow. Okay. You can tie a bow around your block and then just cut the middle of it at the back is another way that you can tie a bow. There's lots of different ways you can tie your bows. Okay, so I'm tying this bow before I put it onto my, I'm tying this bow badly, man. Before I put it onto my card because of the way I want it. I wanted to make sure it's sat right. I do have a tendency, you may have started to notice if you watch me on a regular basis, I do have a tendency to put bows on that side. Now, the other thing I wanted to say is if your bow doesn't want to behave nice and it doesn't want to sit where you want it to sit, there is nothing stopping you sticking a glue dot under it and forcing it into submission to where you want it to sit. Okay? All right. And that can just sit there in the middle very nicely and look very attractive. The other thing that you can do if you wanted to, you could bring a bit of extra color in just because we can. Now, does anyone remember how much we cut that out? Because I don't. I believe it was 4 centimeters. So we want 4.5 by, was it 5 or was it 6? It was 6. So we need 6.5. Let's just do 6.5. And we're going to need to get our fluffy bits off. And I think I might need to take a little bit more off it. Take off some fluffies. And there's another reason why I keep these in here, because there's a couple of different techniques you can do with a emery board. So Perfect. All right. And we'll put some dimensionals under you. All right, so again, I've got the little dimensionals, not the big ones. If you wanted to, you could just chop up the side. So this time when I'm using dimensionals, I definitely leave my tear it tape on unless it's in the spot where I want to stick a dimensional. Then I will move it from that spot only, okay? Because otherwise the dimensional will not stick to it. You will need to snip that bit off because you don't want it to go over and stop your dimensional from sticking things down, okay? So we'll just get all of our bits off here. Oh, that one didn't want to come up and play nice. These things find me all around the house. They get stuck to the dog, get stuck to the kids, they get stuck to the clean clothes. Sometimes you find them on towels, everywhere. And it's getting dark. Oh, my battery's going off on my light, that's why. Whoopsie. You just tie them and then glue them on with a glue dot. Yeah, I like to tie them on. I just, yeah. It's all good. We all do things a different way, which I think is great. It's up to you whether you push it to the side a bit, put it in the middle. Choice is yours. I have a tendency to like being skew-if, so I will be pushing it to the side. And I'm not going to add more dimensionals because this one will go in the mail. Okay. I try not to make my ones that go in the mail too tall. If you make them too bulky, Australia Post will take great delight in charging you extra for them. Okay, just so that you know. If you've got gems or anything like that on it, pop a piece of paper on this side so that way it's protected when it goes through the mail, because that machine is quite vicious, for want of a better way of putting it. Gosh, these are pretty, these gems. Get back on there. And we'll put a big one down here. And you can put extras on the plain bit as well. So there is another one. Let's just, I don't know what happened to my inside. There it is there. We'll just go and colour these. Again, we've got the blue flowers on here, so I will follow that through with the blue flowers. And although it's not, this is balmy blue, not boho blue like that's in the suite, but that's okay. Because some people don't have everything, and we don't have to have everything. There's a lot of things we can do that we make do with. And again, I'm just being messy. I'm not colouring the whole flower in. I am following along with that watercolour look that they've got on there. Which means the other good thing about it is you don't have to stain the lines, which I also like. Okay. And it means that you can add a little bit of extra here and there. And we'll put a bit of glue on this one. So now that has given, I've used up a whole half a sheet of paper. So you can make another 3 cards with the same half a sheet of paper, because I've got the other half sitting over there. And I'll show you what I've ended up with as scraps, because it's really not that much. And in this day and age, I don't know about you guys, but I don't like to waste stuff. So I've got no waste of ribbon. So I've got no little flicky bits. But I've ended up with these 2 bits. Oh, that's from the other piece. That piece there and that piece there out of that whole 6 by 12 piece. And I've made 3, if I do say so myself, 3 very simple but very fabulous cards. So, and I've got 2 little pieces of scrap. Now, these will be great if you make one of those candle cards. These are great as candles. All right. When I say the candle cards, they're the ones that you can make, like if you have someone that's turning 18, you can have 18 candles on it. These are great as candles. Or if you wanted to, oh, that side's boring, but you could actually put another layer on it if you wanted to do it. You don't have to. But I think that that's a pretty good outcome from a 12 by 6 piece of cardstock. What do you think? All right. Suzanne likes it. See? Love what you've done with this card. They just turn out so nice. And we like to sometimes go and we like to do extra stuff and make them all really busy and all really good. But sometimes it's nice to step back and just do stuff that is easily replicatable, and it's pretty. And they're really nice sets of cards. Someone would probably like to receive these cards as a gift. So you've got, like, I'll often give gifts of cards. That's a set of 3 cards to let someone know that you're thinking of them. Give that to them. You can give them the stamps too. Like, so you've got lots of different options. And I can make another 3 exactly the same. Thanks, Donna. Thanks, Suzanne. All right. So here is the 3 cards again, just so that we can finish up on them. One piece of 12 by 6. If you wanted to make 6 cards, you can. You can swap in and out the colors at the back. Not a problem. And that is using the lovely new mixed label set. They're just pretty. It's nice to have some great sentiments, and they're easy. So have fun with that. I'd like to see what you've done with what you guys do with it. Don't forget about the memories and more cards that you can do, because actually, you know what? I could have put that on the top of that blue one, and that would have been fabulous. So you can have a lot of fun. All right, that's what we might do next time, is play with our memories and more and make some nice cards. Or I'll catch me during the week and I'll show you some more of them. All right, I'm going to say toodaloo because I'm done now, and I'm going to clean up, because tonight I'm going to clean up before next week. Remember, there's lots of links in the post. The join links there, the shopping links there. Fabulous new suite. There's heaps of new goodies on the Stampin' Up store. Have a look around. If there's anything you like, pop it into your cart, and all is sweet. If you spend $100 or more, you will be eligible for celebration items if you're shopping before the 28th of February 2025. And there's some really fabulous things in there. All right, all good. I will catch all of you later. And yeah, I will see you next week. 4 o'clock seems to be a good time for me at the moment. So whilst the light is okay at 4 o'clock, we will be doing a 4 o'clock special. All right, catch up. Bye.